G'day everyone, I'm going to show you our visual management boards now. So this is our little sort of dairy room slash office slash bike room. It's kind of like our hub for the farm where we sort of come regularly and can check on all our boards. So visual management boards are designed to be really easy to see and to hold all your really important information that you want to have a look at a lot through the day. And every day of the week. So it's going to depend on what you want to have in your sort of on your visual boards. But what we've decided to have is I'll go around the room. But here we've got our cell count. So that's really important for staying in premium range. So we keep that updated whenever our cell count history comes through from the tanker. So you can see our premium is marked there in red, so we want to be below it, and you can see we had a bit of a spike here which we found the culprit, so a subclinical case of mastitis, so we've brought it back down again now. Up here we've got when our rubberware is due for a replacement. Make sure we're keeping up with that kind of quality milk, and that rubberware is not going to be causing quality issues. We've got our annual farm preventative maintenance. So this is sort of most of the really important equipment on the farm or machinery, and when we've decided to maintain it so that we're not getting to, say the seeder, we're not getting to say March when we need the seeder and we're starting to replace things or fix broken pieces. So we've got the different months marked down here and all the different equipment and when we should be maintaining them. So over here is similar. This is a weekly farm preventative maintenance. So this is what we want to do each week. And it varies slightly from the annual preventive maintenance. So things like checking oil and tyre pressure of bikes and fire vesting things. So keeping on top of our organisation. Just checking pipes and stuff in the dairy to make sure we're not sort of running into troubles. If we're not sort of chasing our tails, we're more just preventing things from happening. Along here are some of our KPIs, so key performance indicators, and that's going to depend on what your KPIs are for your business. So everyone has sort of different type KPIs. You can get some sort of standard ones from different industry sources. So we've got sort of quality, cell count, production, animal health, so mastitis, deaths, things like that, calf rearing, sickness sort of levels, breeding, so how many services on the cows and return services, environmental KPIs that are really important for us, so effluent pond level and how many gullies we've fenced and trees planted, things like that, and then pasture consumption and pasture fed and brought in feed costs, things like that. So up here we've got our grazing plan. So this is feeding pastures for profit. Really crucial part of our business when we have pasture, which fortunately we had around that 75 mil of rain there in the last few days, and it's just been magical. The transformation in the landscape is incredible. So hopefully we'll be getting stuck into our pasture management. So it's based on rotational grazing principles, speed of pasture growth, and division of paddocks to manage that. But I might talk about that again another time when I can do a full video on it. Next, we've got our weekly planner. So this is really important too. So this one's for the grazing plan, this one's weekly planner, and it's color coded as well. So anything in red has to be done that day. Anything in blue is kind of next priority, and anything is green is kind of if you get around to it, do it. Otherwise, just it's not sort of that important if it doesn't get done. We've got livestock numbers and transfers. So every time we transfer cattle out of the dairy or out of the calf pen to different classifications of stock, we change that on that board. So it's kind of like your livestock inventory, which I'll talk about in cash flow later on. Over here is our blackboard. So that's what I've talked about before with Kanban. So every time we come across a part that we need to replace or top up, we put it on our blackboard and order it. Over here are our cupboards, so that's our essential equipment cupboards. I might cover that on a different one, but that's really important sort of things to keep the farm running, the dairy running. Over here we've got calendar, so that's just your yearly calendar. This one's a perpetual calendar, so you don't have to replace it each year. You just rub out all the whiteboard marker and start again and put in. So what we've got is when it's my weekend off, that's in green. So any of these green weekends are my weekend off, and the same for Dad. So any of his weekends off are in blue. So we can see what's coming up and any important events we're putting on here. We make sure we have everyone's birthday, so relatives and things like that, just so we're not forgetting about that sort of important stuff. So down here we've got strategies and actions, so current strategies and actions. So that's really important depending on what's happening in the next sort of month or two on the farm. And it's really important to have strategies. So one of them is, say, pick up all heats and breed on the first heat for one of our breeding strategies. And then your actions are going to be things like checking scratchies, re-scratch all cows after mating, preg test third repeats at 28 days. So, and when. So we've got when, so daily, weekly, monthly, or you can have it more specific, like actual specific dates on when you want to achieve your actions. Over here we've got any animal treatments. So any treatments we've done for any medical issues or mastitis all go up here with all the important information that we need for our auditing. Down here we've got your 8 wastes, so we're always having a look at that. We've got maintenance record, so after we've done our maintenance we put a record of it in here. Over here we've got our cell count from herd recording, so every time herd recording comes in we put our cell count info up here. So if we do have a suspicious cow, we know sort of who to look at. We've got our preg test results for the cows, so we do this based on milk preg testing with herd recording. And this is a bit of a relief milker board too, so some important points for the relief milker, important farm contact details. Over here we've got other important sort of documents and books. Over here we've got our continuous improvement board, so every time we think of sort of something that can make our life a bit easier or can really improve operations around the farm, we put it here. 1, 2, 3, depending on priority. And here is our breeding wheel. So this is all the livestock on the farm, so we can keep an eye on that. When we have our sort of I call them stand-up meeting, because we can just come in here and stand up and talk to each other about different things on these boards. I usually come and start here and just work our way all the way around until we get back to there. So really usually it's only a 5-minute meeting, because you're kind of in here every day, multiple times a day. You can really just have a quick review. Some days, like when cows are coming up for drying off, might be a bit of a longer meeting, because we might be working out who needs treating and things like that. But everything we need to run the farm on sort of a day-to-day management side of things is in this room. And for us, it's really important to keep all of that together. So that's a bit of a breakdown on visual management boards. Everyone's going to have different sort of information they want on their boards, but yeah, that's what we have.